Hey guys, so today I'm going to be filming my favorite books of 2016, and my voice sounds so weird. Please ignore it, I don't know what's happening. So I read about 81 books this year, and I narrowed it down to my top 10 favorites, and so it doesn't mean that I didn't like the other books that I read. It doesn't mean that I didn't love the other books that I read. These are just like my top 10 favorites in no particular order. So let's go ahead and get started. So I finally jumped on the bandwagon of the Mortal Instruments series, except I didn't love it. And so I loved the Infernal Devices. I just loved this series a lot more than the Mortal Instruments. It just was more developed. I don't know, her writing style was a lot more eloquent in my opinion, and the characters were just more real. They didn't seem as cardboard cut out as the Mortal Instruments did, and so I don't know, I just love the storyline a lot more. It was more entertaining for me, and I will forever be connected to the series, and it's like top 10 all-time favorites, not just of 2016. So yeah, The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. Sorry, I just slapped Tessa. The shelf's gonna be a mess at the end of this video. My favorite of 2016 was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I just am so enveloped in this storyline and these characters, it's unreal. Like, I don't know, it's over 600 pages long, and I think I finished it in like 2 days, and that was during the school year, so it means something. I didn't love A Court of Thorns and Roses. It probably wouldn't have been one of my favorite books of last year, but this book really tied me into the series, and I feel like I'm really gonna die during A Court of Wings and Ruin, so I'm looking forward to that in 2017. But despite the fact that Six of Crows came out last year, I didn't read it last year. So I read Six of Crows this year and Crooked Kingdom when it came out, and I love them so much. Like, if you've watched any of my videos, I think I mention it in every single video, and it's more complex than a lot of the stories that I've read, and there were a lot more twists and turns that I wasn't expecting, and it does kind of have some political intrigue, which is interesting to me, and the characters are just so developed, and they have backstories that show reasons for the things that they do, and none of them are perfect, and they're so morally gray, and I just love morally gray characters, and so I'm kind of cheating on a couple of these, because I'm saying series and duologies rather than just a single book, but just let me cheat. Please, let me cheat. Favorite of 2016 is also a series, and that is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I almost got her name wrong for a second. So the first book I didn't love. It felt kind of slow to me, but I still was interested in how the story was going to play out. Then I really loved The Invasion of the Tearling, but there was still something missing that didn't really make me put it at 5 stars. And then The Fate of the Tearling was the book that did it for me. I loved this book so much. It was a perfect wrap up to the series, and it ended in a way that most series don't, which I really enjoyed, that she kind of broke the mold with how she ended her series. That I loved in 2016 was the Winter's Crime Curse series. I think it's just called the Winter series. This book was definitely more political intrigue than anything else, but it was still fantasy, but it was more of a, like, not an urban fantasy, but it was a fantasy that wasn't this crazy new world that took a long time to understand, like complex vocabulary or anything. And the main character I loved. Her name is Kestrel. I don't know if you've read the books, but she's definitely more politically involved than like fighting involved, and I love that so much, because as much as I love like strong-willed women that can beat someone up with a pinky, I also loved that it showed that you can be just as strong just by using the power of your brain. And I don't know, I don't know, I loved Kestrel and Aaron, and I already missed these books, and I'm already thinking about rereading them, and I only read them a couple of months ago. So yes, Winter's Curse Crime Kiss. My next trilogy favorite of 2016, I actually read in ebook form and then bought at like 3 a.m. and I don't remember buying them, and that's the Foxhole Court by Norica Sakovic. I can't get names right today. I love this series because the characters just aren't insane, if that makes any sense. Like, they seem like they could be real people that I would like see on campus and be like, hey guys, you're on campus. I don't know, that didn't make any sense, but it was so unbelievable. That's the only word that I can think of to describe this series. Something happens and you're like, what the crap, you did that? Nora Sakovic did that. My next favorite of 2016 seems to be getting more attention as the year goes on, and I'm really excited about the trilogy ending next year, and that was Gemena. I am obsessed with this book. This entire series is just so involving, and you almost feel like you're like running through the spaceship with these people. So this book started with Illuminae last year, and it is like a sci-fi young adult book. And it's written in like the cool format that I've never seen a book written in before, and it did take a while to get into it with Illuminae, but once you're into it with Gemena, you're like completely tied up, wrapped up in the story. Characters are great, storyline's great, plot twists are great. It's just great. It's great. My next favorite of 2016 is a bit controversial, and that is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. I did love this book. I have a couple of things to say about it. I loved this book. I enjoyed this book. Minus the Manon scenes, it wasn't my favorite in the series, but I feel like the next book's really going to wrap it all up perfectly. I think Heir of Fire or Queen of Shadows are definitely my favorites so far. I realize the issues with Sarah J. Maas's books and how it's primarily white characters and there's not very many POCs, and the ones that are POCs tend to have horrible things happen to them. And I understand that she probably doesn't do this on purpose, it's just how it was written, but I do fully agree that there should be other ways written into it, that it should involve more diverse characters, and I think that she's probably aware of that at this point with all of the commotion that's been going on with this conversation as of late, so I think that she probably will try to work it into more of her future stories, but I mean, I'm not Sarah J. Maas, so I can't commit to that or anything. Despite all of those issues with it, I still love the series while recognizing the flaws of it. My next favorite of 2016 was Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is like working its way up to be near Infernal Devices series level of love with only one book, and I feel like that's something amazing, even though it was really long, so like maybe that's why. This book was a lot darker than the other books have been, which I think is why I found it so interesting, is that it did feel a bit older young adult and not younger young adult, if that makes any sense, and I just loved the characters and how they interacted with each other, and I'm really interested to see where this story is going because they left us with so many different cliffhangers at the end of this book. And so Lord of Shadows comes out pretty soon, and I'm very much looking forward to that in 2017. My last favorite book of 2016 is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepeda. I just recently bought Between Shades of Grey by her, and I'm realizing that I probably should have read it first, but I love this book so much that I don't even care. The story is about a ship sinking in the midst of World War II, and it's not really a story that we were ever taught in school or that I ever learned about, so it was really interesting to see just how strong the people were during this time that we didn't ever learn about it. It wasn't made public or anything. I am beyond excited to read Between Shades of Grey by her in 2017. That's probably going to be the 5th, 6th book I read. I don't know. I'm going to start with The Darkest Minds. I meant to read it in December, but I just ran out of time, so I'm going to read The Darkest Minds now because I really want to read it, and yeah. So that's a good reason, right? I hope you all enjoyed the video for today. Give good riddance to 2016 and welcome in 2017. It was actually a really good reading year, which I'm very excited about, and so I'm hoping that 2017 can be even better reading year, but there were so many good books released this year that like I'm not quite sure if that's going to happen, but I'm very happy with all of the reading that I got done in 2016 and my new bookshelves, and I don't know, it was a good book year, and I hope you all guys had a good book year and a good just year in general. Even though we shouldn't ignore everything that was wrong in 2016, we can try to repair it in 2017 and just have a great year. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you have a happy new year and a great day or night or whatever time it is wherever you are, and thank you for watching. I think it's already 2017 where some people are. Oh my god, it is! It's already 2017 where some people are. Happy 2017. That's crazy. The world is a crazy place. Christmas book tag because hopefully I will be uploading this on Christmas, but I missed my video last week, so who really knows for sure. I read about 80, how do you do math? 86